I'm the stripe rust pathologist, so I run the pathotype survey looking at keeping an eye on what's happening in stripe rust in Australia. Rob Park does all of the other cereal rusts, and really what we do is we try to keep an eye on exotic incursions coming into the country. We try to keep an eye on mutation changes in the pathogen as well. And if that happens, it might mean that your crop is going to go from being highly resistant to highly susceptible. Last year I received quite a few samples off Spitfire, and there was a lot of concern out in the community about what was happening with Spitfire. People were worried about there might be virulence for adult plant resistance genes in the variety. This year we're getting the same thing happening with Suntop. Now for both of those varieties, as far as I'm aware, they're the only two varieties that we currently have in Australia that have no all-stage resistance. They rely entirely on adult plant resistance for their protection, which means in those years where stripe rust is getting into the crop early and where it's got a chance for the inoculum build-up, the adult plant resistance hasn't been able to keep on top of it, especially with a long, coolish winter. And that means in the end that your disease resistance you're expecting, it's normally rated moderately resistant, isn't quite as high as you'd like, and you're getting more disease in the crop. And there are some growers I know who are now going to be starting to look at some yield loss from stripe rust. Normally we'd assume that the adult plant resistance is going to clear the rust out of the crop as it goes through its stages. First of all, we haven't found any evidence for any adult plant resistance virulence in the wheat stripe rust in Australia at this stage for either Suntop or Spitfire. We need to look at early season monitoring. It's really important to keep an eye on your disease in the early stages that it's growing. Is that you're better off going on with a fungicide at planting if you're going to grow Spitfire or Suntop, if you're not already, and then keep an eye on it through med-stem elongation and make further decisions then. Hopefully the way it should operate is the fungicide will see you through till your adult plant resistance is kicking in nice and strong, and that will keep your crop protected through the rest of its growth.